Hello, everyone. Every day the world goes crazy. You wake up and you're seeing a whole totally different thing. This time it is the US has captured Venezuela's president Nicolas Maduro and his wife and launched large-scale strikes against the country. Donald Trump says this is BBC reporting. Literally all the media, houses are reporting this. Earlier, Venezuela announced a state of national emergency and said it rejects and denounces military aggression. U.S. attacks Venezuela, kidnap his president, intends to try him for drug-related offenses. Is this going to be a pattern? That's the question many are asking. I'm going to just look at some of the conversation here, just looking at the at Twitter, all the flying news coming up. And I'm going to give my take on it. This is the tweet that came out, or not tweet, I think he put it on his Truth Social, something like that. That was what he created after he was driven away from Twitter by Jack Dorsey. He said the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with the U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 p.m. at Malaga. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Then Rep. McGovern says, without authorization from Congress and with the vast majority of Americans opposed to military action, Trump just launched an unjustified illegal strike on Venezuela. He says we don't have enough money for healthcare for Americans, but somehow we have unlimited funds for war. Let me just talk about this. And while I talk about this, I'm going to talk about governance. Remember what I said, this my channel is going to be geared more to governance issue, beyond talking about the news, lamenting about it, putting it, creating awareness on it. I think in the last 2 years, I've done a lot of awareness creation in taking on issues and bringing it to the fore of the people so that people see it and be angry enough and demand for better. One of the things here, I know a lot of people are fixated with the idea that, oh, Trump is going to save this, that. But when it comes to unilateral decisions, there's a reason why unilateral decisions are not the best that are out there. One thing is that there has to be, every democracy has a system. There has to be a system in place. And what is the system? This is a system of checks and balances. The Congress is there for a reason. So that if a president wants to take action, you go to the Congress to take permission from it. The Congress is the representative of the people. And so that's the way it is. But when you come out on your own and just go and strike, you might do it for good today. You will not know when you start doing it for bad. And that's the reason why it's important for processes and procedures, to always be followed. And then you've gone in, you've arrested this president, you've taken him out, you've done this aggression. That's real aggression. And people have said that, look, if you're talking about the drug cartel in Venezuela, according to some, it's less than 1%. You understand, there are more places where these things are being done. Even in the United States of America, there's a whole lot of places where they do their homegrown, drug things. But beyond that, many have said that Venezuela has the largest oil reserve. And so that might be the reason why all of this really is going on. But having said that, my main issue, and this is where I'm going to talk about, it's about governance. First of all, as a country and as a people, if you are able to ensure good governance in your place, if someone is coming to you with aggression, everybody will see that, this is really aggression. But when it is that your people are not safe from you, no good governance, no accountability, no transparency, is dictatorship. You do anyhow, you behave unilaterally. Election will be done, you will lose election, you will refuse to go, you will rig election, you will stay on, you will do that. Then when things like this happen, you really can't get enough of sympathy. And that's what is happening in Venezuela today. That's what we see across a lot of countries. For example, here that we are in, what are we doing to ensure that we as a people get that good governance? And one of the things for me, as far as I'm concerned, everybody that is giving bad governance and doing all manner of things in Nigeria, the reason why they are doing it is because I allow them, because you allow them, because we sit down and say we are helpless, we sit down and say we can't do anything, when yes, we can do something. I I'm already on that verge of doing something. I have decided I'm going to be a card carrying member of a political party. You can choose to be a card carrying member of a political party. And for me, I'm going to be in there where people who are going to run for office are coming out, and try as much as I can to ensure that it is the best candidate with competence, character, capacity that get to fly the ticket and the people can vote for. These are places where we begin to change. I want to be there in a way that let people see that it can be done. This whole thing we say politics is dirty. We stayed away too long, and what they end up doing is that they dirty our lives. I'm not saying I'm the best person. I'm not saying I'm the person with the most integrity or whatever, but I just know that as much as possible, wherever I am, I will try to be on the truth, on the path of truth, equity, and justice. I will try to be on the path of what will work for Nigeria. I will try to be on the path of what is the greater good. I'm not the best. Yes, will my whiteness be stained? That remains to be seen. I'm not going to stay away and say, oh, my white is not stained, but I've not gone through the mud. I want to go through the mud, and I will proudly come out and say, look, I went through the mud. You saw me go through the mud, and my white have remained unstained. That is when I know I will have the bragging right to be able to say that I did it and my white refused to be stained. But when I stay away on the lawn, on a clean place, and I refuse to enter the mud, and I keep saying that, oh, my white is not stained, my white is not stained. Is that really my white is not stained, or my white has not been tested? I want my white to be tested. I want to be in there doing this thing. And so, my fellow citizens, we can't sit down and keep saying, oh, this person is going to win. Oh, this person is going to. No, we are the ones who will decide. There is nobody that can rig election without Nigerians agreeing to be part of the rigging. There is no one that can bribe, whether it's a primaries or whatever, without Nigerians being the ones agreeing to be part of it. And this is the time where every one of us is going to take responsibility. Building a nation, it's not a one-day job. It's a marathon. It is not a sprint, and we'll put our everything in. For people, please, I have said this, and for people who reach out to me are trying to, so, but can this thing really be done? Especially Mr. Peter Obi going into this thing. Mr. Peter be going into ADC. Is it not this thing? ADC is for Atiku. I say, how? How did it become for Atiku? You became for Atiku because they have more heads than you. Because you don't have head. You can't do it. Don't itself defeat yourself. Be there and participate in it. Don't sit down and be whining and be posturing and be bringing out all the reasons why you should not. Put out all the reasons why you should go. In short, don't even go in there and put in your best and do your work, and that's it. And I can tell you, it is those of us that are underestimated that always have the upper hand that is not seen. During the 2022 election, that was the same thing they said about Mr. Peter Obi. He cannot get 1 million votes. He cannot get this. He cannot get that. When we were on that journey, we were called all sorts of names. We were laughed, we were mocked, we were everything. But at the end of the day, they see now again a new one has started. Oh, this one, he was not able to stay in his party and build their party. At the other ones, everybody coming to ADC is not from different parties. They came to ADC. I'm going to talk about that on in a different video. But on this one, for us to say the reason why a President Donald Trump will enter Venezuela just like that is because the Venezuelan president hasn't been giving his people good leadership. And the people have not been able to get good leadership for themselves. So we in Nigeria, let us learn from this and ensure that we get that good leadership for ourselves.